Imagine stepping outside, and the air itself feels like it's trying to swallow you whole. No breeze, no relief. Just wave after wave of suffocating, relentless, gut-wrenching heat. Now imagine that's not a heat wave. That's just Tuesday. Today, we're diving headfirst into the most dangerously scorching, jaw-dropping, and unbelievable cities on the face of this earth. And trust me, some of what you're about to hear will absolutely blow your mind. Now, I've traveled a lot. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I thought I knew what hot felt like. LA summers, sure, they get warm, maybe hit the high 90s on a brutal day. But then I flew to Phoenix, Arizona one summer, and I want to be honest with you, nothing prepared me for what I stepped into. The moment those airport doors opened, it was like standing in front of an open oven. The pavement shimmered, the air tasted dry, my lungs felt tight after just 30 seconds outside. I genuinely could not believe that people live there, not just visit, but live, work, and raise families in that kind of heat. And here's the terrifying part. Phoenix isn't even the hottest city in the world, not even close. Let's start somewhere that rewrites everything you think you know about extreme heat. Kuwait City, Kuwait. This gleaming, oil-rich capital on the edge of the Arabian desert doesn't just get hot, it becomes hostile. Average summer highs hover around 45 to 47 degrees Celsius. That's over 116 degrees Fahrenheit for months at a time. But the record? A soul-crushing 52.1 degrees Celsius, or 125.8 degrees Fahrenheit. It was set in July of 2020. And scientists have now linked 67% of heat-related deaths in Kuwait City directly to climate change. Here's what stopped me cold when I read this. Last summer, it got so hot that birds dropped dead from the sky. Seahorses boiled to death in the bay. Dead clams covered the rocks, their shells cracked open as if they'd been steamed alive. Can you even imagine living in a city where the world around you is literally dying from the heat? By the end of this century, scientists say stepping outside in Kuwait City without protection could be life-threatening for human beings. Now we move to a city that carries the jaw-dropping distinction of being the single hottest inhabited place on Earth. Ahvaz, Iran, a city of over 1.3 million people in southwestern Iran, known as the oil capital of the country. In June 2017, Ahvaz recorded a temperature of 53.7 degrees Celsius, 128.7 degrees Fahrenheit. That is almost the hottest temperature ever reliably measured anywhere on this planet. But here's what makes it truly terrifying. On that same day, the humidity spiked so high that the heat index exceeded 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's beyond the range scientists even designed the heat index to measure. The mountains surrounding the city act like walls, trapping superheated air with no escape. There's almost no vegetation, no natural shade, just sand, oil infrastructure, and an unforgiving sun. And if the heat wasn't enough, in 2011, the World Health Organization ranked Ahvaz as the most air-polluted city on the entire planet. Heat and toxic air. Every single summer. The resilience of the people who call this place home is genuinely awe-inspiring. Basra, Iraq. Ancient, storied, and right now one of the most heat-ravaged cities in the world. This is the city where, according to legend, Sinbad the sailor set off on his great voyages, built all the way back in 636 AD. Today, it's fighting a very different kind of battle. On July 22, 2016, Basra hit 53.9 degrees Celsius, 129 degrees Fahrenheit. That is one of the highest temperatures ever recorded on the surface of this Earth. And the night that followed, the overnight low was 38.8 degrees Celsius, 101 degrees Fahrenheit. The city never even cooled down. From May through September, temperatures regularly crack 50 degrees Celsius, and the electricity grid buckles under the demand. People are rushing to hospitals with heat stroke and severe dehydration, and the doctors there say it's getting worse every year. A city that shaped the ancient world is now struggling to survive the one we've created. Doha, Qatar is one of the wealthiest, most futuristic-looking cities on Earth. Gleaming skyscrapers, luxury malls, a skyline that looks like it belongs in a science fiction film. And behind all of it, temperatures that regularly push past 41 degrees Celsius, 106 degrees Fahrenheit as a summer average. This is the city that air-conditioned its outdoor soccer stadiums for the 2022 World Cup. Think about that for a second. They had to refrigerate the outdoors to make it survivable for visitors. Doha's location on the flat, low Arabian Peninsula, surrounded by the warm waters of the Persian Gulf, means there's no elevation, no shade, and almost zero rainfall. The city is essentially a heat island floating in the middle of one of the most scorching regions on Earth. And yet, nearly 2.4 million people call it home, and it just keeps growing. Humanity and heat, locked in a fascinating and death-defying dance. And that brings us back to the city that first humbled me, Phoenix, Arizona. With over 1.6 million residents, Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the United States and the hottest, by a wide margin. In 2024, Phoenix shattered every heat record in the books. The city recorded 70 days at or above 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The previous record was 21. It endured 113 consecutive days of triple-digit heat, the longest streak ever recorded in American history. In the nights, before the year 2000, Phoenix would have maybe 5 nights a year that never dipped below 90 degrees. In 2024 alone, 37 nights stayed above 90, all night long. The entire city is built on concrete and asphalt, and that's the problem. There's no natural escape valve for the heat. Maricopa County reported over 600 heat-related deaths in 2024 alone. Scientists are now warning that Phoenix could become uninhabitable for humans within the next 20 to 40 years if nothing changes. I think about that every time I remember stepping off that plane and gasping in that Phoenix heat. A city of nearly 5 million people in the metro, and it may be living on borrowed time. So here's my question for you. Could you survive in any of these cities? Which one do you think sounds the most terrifying? Kuwait City, Ahvaz, Basra, Doha, or Phoenix? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one and I genuinely want to know. And if this video gave you chills, or in this case, the complete opposite of chills, please hit that like button. It truly means the world to this channel. Subscribe to Travel Trip Destinations so you never miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay cool out there, because clearly not everywhere does feel cool.